In this video, I'll explore the concept of patience in the martial arts and how we cultivate it and how we can apply it in our lives. But before I get into that, I need to let you in on the story of Master Banzo and Master Takuan. They were two of the greatest sword masters in all of Japan with unparalleled skill and a deep understanding of Zen. But they'd never met each other in combat, and people were waiting for these two to take it up with each other. So, one day, it was arranged for Master Banzo and Master Takuan to face off. On that day, the benches were filled and the crowds were dense as they gathered around to witness this fight. Just like an MMA fight, people were charged with anticipation and tension. But something strange happened that day, something no one had really anticipated. The two masters approached each other, carrying their heavy swords with them. They stood facing each other, dressed in their armor, with their eyes locked in. It was so intense that everyone was on the edge of their seats, hypnotized, holding their breaths, waiting. So intense and focused, you'd have heard a pin drop. The seconds turned to minutes, and still, the two masters remained still, not even blinking, their swords still sheathed. The silence grew heavier and heavier, and the anticipation turned into confusion. Still, not one person watching dared to move, and neither did the swordsmen. They continued to stand still, staring at each other with unwavering focus. The minutes turned to hours, and the two swordsmen stood their ground, remaining still and centered. The eager crowd began to understand that something profound was happening. The intensity of the master's presence, their deep concentration, and the stillness of their bodies conveyed a sense of profound wisdom and serenity. Eventually, as the day began to end and the moon rise, the spectators finally realized that the duel had taken place on a different level of the mind and spirit. Without a single strike, the masters had demonstrated the highest level of martial arts, complete control over themselves, and the ability to engage in battle without conflict. Finally, as the darkness totally took them over, Master Banzo and Master Takuan bowed to each other, acknowledging the silent duel they had shared. They turned and walked away. The true essence of their encounter was clear. The most significant victory is achieved without violence, and the highest form of combat lies in the mastery of your own mind and spirit. Through their stillness and patience, the two masters taught that true power and wisdom come from within. This story beautifully captures the Zen principles of patience, inner peace, and the transcendence of physical combat. It highlights that the ultimate mastery in martial arts and in life lies in our ability to remain calm, composed, and in control, demonstrating that sometimes the most significant strength is found in stillness. Today, I'd like to dive into an often underappreciated but profoundly transformative aspect of the martial arts: the cultivation of patience. A lot of people are drawn to martial arts for their physical benefits and self-defense skills. Still, the mental and spiritual growth accompanying this practice is just as valuable. Patience, in particular, is a virtue that martial arts develops and hones, and it's a quality that can significantly enhance our daily lives. It's a vital skill in today's fast-paced world where instant gratification is often the norm. Let's take a second and look at how the art of Aikido in particular helps us learn patience. Aikido is often referred to as the art of peace, a unique martial art that emphasizes harmony and blending with an opponent rather than confronting them with brute force. This philosophy of non-resistance and control over aggression makes Aikido an excellent practice for developing patience. Aikido is non-competitive, there are no tournaments or competitions, and the focus is on personal growth and mutual respect. The techniques of Aikido involve redirecting an opponent's energy and using their force against them. This requires a high degree of patience and adaptability, as you must remain calm and fluid, adjusting your movements in response to your opponent. Patience is more than just waiting without complaining. It's the ability to endure difficult circumstances, to persevere through challenges, and to maintain a calm and balanced mindset even when things don't go as planned. Patience allows us to handle stress more effectively, make thoughtful decisions, and maintain harmonious relationships. In the context of martial arts, patience is an essential quality for both training and personal growth. And developing patience is not an overnight process. It requires continuous effort and practice, just like mastering a martial art. There are three basic aspects of our daily practice at the dojo that help us develop patience: progress and skill development, paired training, sparring, or competition, and meditation and mindfulness. One of the first lessons in martial arts is that progress is incremental. As a beginner, you'll often start with basic techniques, which may seem repetitive and simplistic, but these foundational movements are crucial for more advanced techniques. As a student, you must practice these basics repeatedly, refining your form and technique. This process teaches you to appreciate the journey rather than rushing towards the destination. Most martial arts use a belt ranking system to signify your level of expertise. Moving from one belt to the next belt requires demonstrating proficiency in various techniques, forms, and sometimes knowledge of martial arts history and philosophy. You can't advance on your desire. You have to invest time and effort, often enduring months or even years of training, to reach the next level. This long-term commitment fosters a deep sense of patience as you learn to value steady improvement over immediate success. Your training typically takes place in a controlled environment, like a dojo or gym, where you must follow specific rules and etiquette. For example, you often bow before entering the dojo, wait for the instructor's permission to start a technique, and you often respect your training partners. These rituals reinforce the importance of patience, learning to wait your turn and following the established protocol. Partner drills, sparring sessions, or competitions require a high level of patience. As you train with a partner, you're taught to be patient and considerate, understanding that everyone progresses at their own pace. You learn to communicate effectively, adapt your techniques, and support each other's growth, fostering a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect. As for the meditation and mindfulness side, Aikido strongly emphasizes the mind-body connection. Techniques are sometimes practiced slowly and deliberately, allowing you to develop a deep awareness of your movements and the movements of others. This mindful practice enhances patience as you learn to stay present and focused, not rushing through techniques, but experiencing them fully. This brings us to failure and frustration, which are inevitable parts of learning a martial art. You will encounter obstacles, whether it's struggling to perfect a technique, losing a sparring match, or facing a physical limitation. Martial arts training teaches you to embrace these challenges and view them as opportunities for growth. By repeatedly facing and overcoming difficulties, you develop resilience and patience, understanding that setbacks are temporary and perseverance leads to improvement. Some specific exercises in the martial arts and Aikido that help us build patience are katas, randori, ukemi, seiza, and weapons training. Learning katas, prearranged sequences of movements and techniques that require precise execution and repetition, require meticulous attention to detail and repeated practice. The gradual refinement of each movement teaches you to be patient with your progress and focus on continuous improvement. Randori is an excellent exercise that develops patience as well. It involves multiple attackers or continuous movement scenarios in which you must apply techniques fluidly and adaptively. Randori requires staying calm and composed under pressure and adapting techniques in real time. This exercise builds patience by forcing you to stay present and avoid rushing your responses. Ukemi or breakfalls involve learning how to fall safely and recover quickly. It's a fundamental in Aikido and Judo. Mastering Ukemi requires overcoming fear and building confidence through repeated practice. Sitting in seiza might just be the ultimate form of learning patience. Seiza is a traditional Japanese sitting posture used in meditation and martial arts training that can be pretty uncomfortable and painful. It requires some serious mental discipline. This practice teaches patience by encouraging you to remain still and focused despite the physical discomfort. In Aikido, training with the jo, the wooden staff, and bokuto, wooden sword, involves practicing traditional weapon techniques. Precision and control are essential in this practice. Repeated drills and katas with these weapons enhance patience as you learn to perfect their techniques over time. Life is filled with challenges and unexpected obstacles. The patience cultivated through martial arts enables you to face these difficulties with calm and a composed mindset. Whether dealing with work-related stress, personal conflicts, or unexpected challenges, the patience learned in the dojo provides a solid foundation for maintaining emotional stability and making thoughtful decisions. Patience is also the cornerstone of a healthy relationship. Whether with family, friends, or colleagues, being patient helps understand others' perspectives, resolve conflicts amicably, and build stronger connections. Your training helps you become more empathetic, understanding, and patient with others, which leads to improved interpersonal skills. Just as progress in the martial arts requires time and effort, so does self-improvement in personal and professional growth. Patience is essential in setting and achieving long-term goals, whether related to career, education, or personal well-being. As a student, you learn to set realistic expectations and appreciate incremental progress, which can be applied to any area where growth is desired. This patience is not just about enduring the slow progress of skill development or the intensity of partner training or sparring, but is a transformative quality that enriches our daily lives. By applying the patience learned through martial arts to our everyday experiences, we can handle stress better, build stronger relationships, pursue personal growth more effectively, and achieve a greater sense of balance and inner peace. Now that's something you can take out of the dojo.